Libra, I channeled a message for you, which was you driving like a Formula One sports car. And I think you win the race. You certainly get round the track, you go past the flag. So even though, you know, I mean, I can't stand Formula One, to be honest with you. But either way, you're getting to the end of something, you're winning something. Yes. Look at the card I just took for you. You get the Warrior. I mean, it's kind of glamorous, but also kind of scary at the same time. Being ruled by Venus, you're usually quite kind of glamorous, not usually scary. Most Librans I know are fairly keep themselves to themselves, you know, they're not that extrovert. Let me know in the comments, are you an introvert, an extrovert, or an intro-extrovert? You know, kind of a combination of the two. We've got a snake going through this skull. We've also got that lovely rainbow at the top. I love this for you, but this digs deep. If you see a snake in tarot, you know that you're dealing with something about shedding skin, about becoming a new person in a way. And I don't know if you've ever watched a video of a snake shedding its skin, but it's really difficult. You know, they have to really go for it. There's a lot of undulating and kind of, it feels like it's, you know, when you got really tight socks on and it's really hot, it feels like that. So this isn't easy. You haven't chosen an easy path. And I think actually that the path chose you, not the other way round. And that is really important. I'm just going to make a note of it here. So the path chose you. And that sometimes means it's not the easiest of paths. So you may have been finding in the last few weeks, or as you come to this reading, that you've been struggling with something, that you've been, I'm now getting an image of you pushing a rock up a hill. Yeah, there's Sisyphus, the Greek myth of someone who had to push a rock up the hill and then it came back down again and then they just had to push it back up the hill again, and that was kind of it. So this may still be ahead of you, you may be halfway through, only you know what point you're at. But you got the power to make it to the end. You may even win the race. But it's not easy and it's not comfortable. Let's take some tarot on it. It's very hot in here, by the way, and I can't put a fan on because it makes too much noise. So you may see me fanning myself in a real kind of a way. We don't get heat in the UK. Not normally. So we can't cope with it. Okay. I like that you get the Warrior. For some of you, there may have been difficulties in family groups or difficulties in a friendship group, even in like a WhatsApp group that's more of an extended group of people. There's something here also about the way people perceive you. That card has been doing the rounds. The way people perceive you and the way that you really are inside. Oh my God. Okay, and some of you, and I will do a love and relationship section in the second half of this reading. Some of you, this may be dealing with Divine Masculine, because your first two cards out are the King of Cups and the Emperor. That's a very interesting combination. Emperor, Divine Masculine, the father of the tarot. King of Cups, Divine Masculine, but in a really kind of alternative way. So think of a poet, Divine Masculine, the poet, or someone who has reached a higher level of emotional attainment. So the King of Cups can be somebody who really connects with you emotionally. And the Emperor, oof, I mean, I'll pick that up again in the love reading in the second section, but I feel like That's very strong energy. It's very unusual energy as well. Who are you dealing with here? Now, for some people, it's always important when the Emperor comes out, especially because we got that nod to there being maybe difficulty in a family group. But the Emperor, I always ask the question, what about the father? What about the father? What is going on? What went on? What is your relationship to divine masculine energy? What was your relationship like with your father? Is there something going on with your father at the moment, or is there something going on with something else in your life, but it mimics or mirrors the relationship dynamic that you had or have with your father? It's a lot, I can tell, but I like that you've got that warrior card. I like that it has a kind of diamond in the third eye as well, and I feel that that's very important. I feel like that's telling us that you have some third eye realizations about this. Oh my God, more divine masculine, the King of Swords now. To get the Emperor, the King of Cups, the King of Swords, how authority shows up in your life and how you react to it is going to be very important. Previously, if you've been a people pleaser, or if you've been, and lots of Libras are not necessarily people pleasers, but they certainly don't rock the boat. You know, you're usually harmonious, your card is justice, you like to see things fair. And often you're the one who will create fairness across a group. But there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of masculine energy, and there's a lot of structured rule type energy that you may not want to follow. Yeah, look at what you get there. The Eight of Cups. Walking away, saying no. And what I've now just been channeled, no is a complete sentence. God. The pressure to go along with something is quite sizable, I would say, in this reading. It's quite patriarchal, to be honest, and something to do with patriarchy. I mean, Pater is father. Oh my God. Goosey McGoosebumps. There they are. Hairs standing up on end. King of Pentacles now. This is like a... let me show you the cards. Let me straighten the table a little. This is like a sort of Senate, you know, or like a panel. There. Look at them all. And the only one that I think represents you is the Eight of Cups. This is all outside influence. This could be politics, it could be government, it could be your management at work, it could be, particularly if you had a very strict or overwhelming father, it could be the influence of the masculine in your life, and you're breaking a cycle here of, if you like, going along with it, because I don't think you're going to be willing to go along with it. Yeah. Eight of Swords. Not able to see that there may be freedom in this. It's definitely not going to be easy, but I feel like you need to find, and I'm getting, the way out. got the Eight of Cups, and for me the Eight of Cups is very often a neon exit sign. Like, how do I get out of here? I'm going to take another card for the Eight of Cups, but I'm going to use another tarot. No, I'm going to use a shadow deck. What is this all about, please? Where's the entrapment? I'm getting that you're kind of trapped in something, sort of trapped in a situation, not of your making. For the Eight of Cups, I get the Four of Wands. Okay. I'm just going to get another deck out of the cupboard. It's my life in my own hands there. For some reason my microphone didn't like that either. But we're all good now. I'm going to choose an oracle card to go with it as well. I just feel like it's the most powerful card. The Four of Wands is the opportunity for something that is very simpatico for you. It's very positive. It's an unusual move that I feel like you want to make, but it would take a lot of courage because it's a little bit left field. Okay, two cards literally just flew on the floor. Yeah, you get blessed. I call this the blessed prawn. And building blocks. Okay. From that, I'm getting no sudden moves. Okay, I know you get the warrior card, and I know there's a lot of strength for you involved in this, and it's really important. But at the same time, this is something to be done in a Libra style, which is very Four of Wands-ish actually. Divine feminine, not obvious, not quick, and not reactive. You're being proactive. This is important. It's a really good opportunity. It could come to you through a friend. It could come to you through something that you've applied for. It could be, you know, just your dream job or your dream occupation, your dream you want to travel, whatever it is. It's your dream and it's nobody else's to hijack. And whoever or whatever has you constrained in this way had better look out, because I don't think it's going to be able to continue. Not on your watch. Let's have some love cards for you. Let's look at love and relationships. And I feel like this dynamic plays out in love and relationships as well. And I just had a channeled message that they underestimated you if they think they can do that. Okay. You can use a different deck for love and relationships. Oh gosh, yes. Wow. Oh my god. Let's just pull three majors, shall we? Let's not mess about in the Libra reading. I'm going to push all these up a bit. There we are. For some reason my camera isn't straight, but we're going to live with that. Wow. That's a lot, isn't it? We've got strength, we've got the devil, and we've got the hermit. Goodness. Strength definitely goes with this card, the warrior. Okay, strength and the warrior are divine feminine energy. The strength card nearly always has a woman sort of taming a lion. It's like she's a lion whisperer. Very rarely, if ever, will you see her with a weapon or some way of taming that, you know, because really she probably hasn't got the strength to tame that lion, but it's a psychological strength. Some of you may be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Some of you just may be dealing with something about your relationships and the power balance, and with that devil in the middle, you have the strength to overcome something that has some fear or toxicity behind it. We've got the Hermit here as well. I feel like you're the Hermit in this. I'm getting a channel message that somehow you're making yourself unreachable. But maybe with good reason, I'm not sure. 3 of Wands, so that's potential. Potential passion, potential progress. Let's just zoom out a little bit so we get a bit more room. Put you there. Yeah, potential passion, potential progress, fire again. You know, every month a different sign that isn't a fire sign seems to inherit the fire. It's like you get given a baton of fire. And this month I think it's you. I love that. That reminds me of your 4 of Wands. There are chances here for friendship, for connection, for divine feminine energy to meet divine feminine energy, which I really like. But there's also chances to defeat the devil. If you need a girls' night out, if you need to confide in a very trusted female friend, this is definitely your time to do it. And there is our last king. No, not our last king. We've got the King of Cups twice. Okay, some of you may be dealing with a water sign. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I like the look of this King of Cups. It's a very emotionally sensitive person, but there's this to overcome in order to get to this. Your boundaries are going to have to be very, very strong. I feel like you're going to be triggered by someone's behaviour, or you already have been triggered by someone's behaviour. Nice. I like that you get the 9 of Cups there. Let's just do that. Okay. This is an obstacle to overcome. And I would say whatever this is an aspect of someone's behaviour, which could have happened in the past, and this could remind you of that, or it could be happening now. That somebody is being tricky. And that I'm kind of being polite with the being tricky part. It feels as if they're testing your limits. And you need to decide where your limits are actually. How can you know if someone has crossed a line if you don't know where the line is what I'm getting. There's potential for happiness. We've got this King of Cups twice. I like that. King of Cups is a bit of a mysterious figure. It's someone who's quite kind of esoteric and can be a bit tricky as well, because the King of Cups has an amazing imagination and amazing emotional connection, but usually can't turn up on time or has a bit of a disorganized attachment style. That can happen with the King of Cups. The 9 of Cups at the end, Jupiter in Pisces, this card I love. I'm going to take a card for... what do I want? I'm going to take a card for the 9 of Cups, because that is the what do you really want card. Oh yes. Oh, I love that. More goosebumps. Okay, so we get the King of Cups. What do you really want to be the Queen of Cups? There's someone in your orbit who is a bit of a muck dreamy. They may seem hard to reach, or they may seem a little mysterious, but there's a chance here for real emotional connection. First of all, there is an obstacle here that you need to overcome. It may be, because this is underneath the Emperor, that there were things that happened while you were growing up that really challenged your ability to deal with divine masculine. I want to take another card for the Devil here. We've got two. Oof, nice. So for the Devil, I get the Empress and the Four of Swords. Yeah. It's not through action that you solve the problem with this devil influence. It's through being the Empress, through being in your feminine, through being, not doing, which is sometimes hard, but for Librans not so much. You're ruled by Venus, you're halfway there. And then the Four of Swords, it's a very restful energy. If you are making a real effort with somebody, if you are trying to prove anything, or if you catch yourself trying to prove that you are the one, or that they should do this, or things could be that, or any kind of arguing for, proving that, showing evidence, any of that, kick that out of the park. None of that for you. You need to retain your air of mystery. If something is very troublesome in the romantic arena, you may need to do your Eight of Cups and distance yourself from it and say to yourself, well, you know, if they want to come and find me, they will. Which is a very difficult gamble to take. But sometimes, and you will know, when you're under this much kind of pressure, you know, with all these kings and this divine masculine energy, that's just what you need to do. The Queen of Cups here to me is looking quite regal and quite bold, and like she knows who she is, and she's not afraid to be who she is and stand up for who she is. But in order to do that, she's not going to walk taller, shout louder, lift heavier. She doesn't need to do the heavy lifting. It's not for her. This is Empress. The Empress is like all four queens put together. And you've nearly got all four kings here. Who's missing? King of Wands. Let's see if he comes up in the extended reading. That will be interesting. Okay. This is you at this point in time. Your strength is in your divine feminine energy. You're not avoiding whatever this devil issue is. You're going to find your boundaries. You're going to stand toe to toe with what you need to stand toe to toe with. But you're not fighting. You're just being. And in that being is an enormous amount of power to transform both the relationship, the other person, and yourself. Wow. Okay, in the extended reading, I'm going to look at the Devil card more. I'm going to look into the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. And this sort of, very often is like a psychic 5D connection when you get the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups together. So I'm also going to look into that I like this combination, but I feel there's some work needed to bring them into alignment with each other. So we're going to look at what brings you into alignment with this person. Where are they? Where are they at? What are they thinking? How do they feel about you? We're going to have a little dig around that, and also at any obstacles or the shadow side that may be holding you back from, you know, getting the best that you can get in love, which is what we want. The link for that will be underneath this video in the description box, and I'm going to go and do that right now. So I will see you on the other side, lovely Librans. Namaste.